Hey, it's Jason with jamzDOTnet, cars, DIY, and adventures, and today is a bit of a DIY home project. I'm going to use this 31-gallon hot-dipped aluminum tub up on the deck, elevated on some rocks I picked from the property, with a flower pot in the middle that will grow flowers out. And I want that water to move. I don't want it to be stagnated, so that's where the Poposoap solar-powered bird bath fountain is going to come into play. This little tiny fountain is affordable, and it should provide exactly what I need to emit water up without having to have a need for any electricity ran to it. So let's unpackage it. I'm going to show you all the materials I plan to use, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to hook it up. Let's go. Now, this little bird bath fountain is only $27 on Amazon. It has over 1,000 4.5-star reviews, and over 500 of these were purchased in the last month. This is 6.5 watts, and to give you a few more tech specs, let me pull it up on my phone here. It's 8.5 inches by 7.5 inches wide by 1.8 inches high. It's 6.5 solar watts. So that's great for a little tiny pump. It says it can do 20,000 hours. So they're saying this will last for 20,000 hours of pumping water, which, 24 hours in a day, do the math, that lasts a long time. It has a dry run protection. So if the pump runs out of water for whatever reason, it's gonna cut off. It's not gonna run dry and destroy the pump. It has 8 different spray modes, so you can have it spray different ways, higher, wider, more focused sprays that it would do. And it comes with 5 feet of tubing to hook everything up, and of course the solar panel as well. It's very easy to install. It's effectively advertised as being plug and play, and we're gonna hook it up and we'll see just how true that is. And it provides a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 1-year warranty from the manufacturer. So for 27 bucks, not too bad. The solar panel is a little bit larger, which you want to power the pump, right? So you just have to think about your install of how you're gonna do it. I'm gonna show you all of the items I'm gonna use. I invested like 30 bucks, maybe 40 bucks. I think this tub was the only thing I actually purchased. It was like 40 bucks. And if I end up moving it or don't want it anymore, I have other purposes for it. But let's unpackage this $27 solar bird bath fountain. It's important to note they make a lot of other fountains too. They make waterfalls, they make bigger ones. So, a lot of different items that they sell. I'm using the small one for this demonstration. Let's unpackage this and see what's in the box. Okay, when it arrives, you can buy it direct from them or on Amazon. Mine was purchased via Amazon. Forever homes for every creature. This is made in China. Order it while they have them in stock, because we know what's happening with inventory. A little foam pad here, 5 feet of tubing, a stake. It looks like the filter. These are the different spray heads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them in here. This is the little tiny pump. It already has foam in it, so they give you some extra foam, it seems. This is for the solar panel, so you can adjust where it's facing and what it's doing. Of course, you can hook it on the stake, which is what I'll be doing. I'm putting it in my flower pot. And then we have mounting screws, so I suppose if you wanted to mount it, you could use these screws, and you could screw it in and mount it to the deck or to something that's wood. And then this is the most important piece, obviously, your panel. When I mention it's a bigger panel, you see what I mean. This is going to give you quite a bit of power to run that pump. You have to have it in direct sunlight, no shadows. Don't scratch the surface. You have to keep the pump in water, and then clean the pump regularly and avoid clogging with dust. If you have any issues, you can call them at that toll-free number, or you can email them. From an instruction point of view, they give you all kinds of options to get a hold of them. All of the items that I mentioned right there. how to assemble the nozzle. So step one, you're gonna wanna put this on. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide the solar panel on here. It just goes in like so. Let me push this down a little bit and then it kind of clicks in. So that's my panel. I'm gonna need to angle it, so I will loosen this up a little bit, and that's pretty much gonna be my angle right there. And then you tighten that back down, and just like that, you have the panel. The next step is, it looks like doing the nozzles. Create a small fountain, follow the steps. Install the stakes to the solar panel, connect the foam continent nozzle to the water pump. Connect the pump with the solar panel and tighten the protective screw. So this is our pump right here. It's definitely a lot more cable to the pump than I was expecting. So I'm gonna have to zip tie some of this up. I guess what I'll probably end up putting it in the pond and just keeping some of this in the water, zip tied, and then only run what I need up to it. Yeah, so like this is, where's my foam pad? Did it blow? Here it is. This is gonna float on the water, which is kind of cool. So it goes like that. So you put that through there, and you gotta get your pieces here and hook up. But you could have this just fully submerged, and you could hook it up to this, and you could pump the water like up to something like a spout or something that's going to drain into the pond. So that, of course, is an option as well. So I won't even need to have that floating. I'll be able to just put the pump in just like that, and then hook this directly up. That will go in like so, and then I can hook that like that, and then I can put my tip on like so. So this is the pond I'm working with. This is a 31-gallon pail that I got at Tractor Supply. It was 40 bucks. I don't want it sitting directly on the deck, so I have these little pot totes, and you can basically just put under the side so it elevates it up a little bit. This is the flower pot that's going to be in the center. It has a hole in the bottom already. I'm going to run the tubing up through this, and then I'm going to let it kind of just spray basically up and over. I'll probably run the tubing up through the side and kind of have it come out and just shoot one side is what I'm thinking. And I want that pot elevated, so I'll put one of these rocks on the bottom, another rock on the bottom, and that big rock right in the middle. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean my rocks off because these were dug out, so they got some mud on them. Okay, so let me get this soil out of this pot. I'm gonna put it in the other pot, run the tubing, and then I'm gonna put the soil back. So what I'm gonna do is run the tubing up through here, put the soil back around the tubing, and that's gonna allow me to have that water feature. I got this pot for free, so I'm repurposing a lot of stuff for this project. Now my intent is to keep this pump pretty much at the bottom of that flower pot. I don't want it directly touching the ground. So you can see what I'm doing here is I'm just gonna take this pipe and feed enough through that I need. I feed actually all of it through. I can cut it later. And then I'm gonna start putting that soil back in. I'll cut this to length, but that's about as much of I want that pump hanging out. So you can see how I've just kept a little bit hanging out. And then we'll go ahead and put a bit of this soil back in. Let me go on this side so I don't get anything in the pump. Okay, this is how I want it ran. You can see the pipes out there. That's gonna go into the water. Now I can take this and place it up on the deck and get my rocks in place. Okay, so I'm changing how I'm doing it. I'm putting it up on bricks because I need that flat surface. I'm gonna have the rocks still in the water, kind of supporting the bricks a little bit. Now I'm just gonna cut this cable or this tubing so the pump kind of hangs right about there. Okay, so this is how it's looking. You can see the pump under there. I have these rocks up against the bricks. Gives it a little bit more safety. I should probably pull this back a little bit more like so. And I don't know if you can see that, but the LED light is red, so it's getting power. It's just not, it doesn't have water, so it's not pumping. I cut the cable to the length I needed, and then all of this would just kind of hide up in the middle like so. So now I can fill it with water. So you just heard the pump kick on. Starting to pull water up. There it goes. There it goes. Put it on this side because I want to hear it. %100% solar powered. You can put this thing anywhere and not have to worry about power. Okay, so this project is in the books. I got to go to the store, the little local nursery, and I want to get some floating lilies that will float in the water, like floating flowers that you see in ponds, and then some type of creeping flower that will come up over the flower pot and kind of drape down. But this is the end result of the project. That's the flow you're gonna get. This thing is in absolute direct sun. You can hear it. I'm way on the mic though, so I'm not sure how much you can hear it, but you can certainly hear it. The solar panel, you know, I could have ran it out over and under the deck or did something, but you know, you get to a point where you don't want to get too crazy. Once a flower's in there, it's gonna hide most of that panel from the front, so I'm not too concerned about it. But that is what we have, guys. Let me know what you think of this project and what I should consider planting in here if you have any specific ideas. This is Jason with jamzDOTnet, Cars, DIY, and Adventures. This is the Poposoap Bird Bath Solar Powered Pump for $27. You can't beat it. And if you want to have some water movement out in your yard or somewhere where you don't have power, this could be an absolute fantastic option. And for that price, as long as they get one season out of it, I'm A-okay. Have a great day.